No. 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 Ugh. Ugh. Sucks. Okay. Welcome to another installment. This is Kaylin, and I'm going to talk to you about page 13 of chapter 13. And same old stuff, starting out with the rough. Several roughs, actually, with this one. I had a question on my last video on how I structure the panels. And my method really is, when structuring the page overall, I try to aim for a clear punchline, quote unquote. I never end the page in the middle of a statement or an action that doesn't really need a dramatic cliffhanger. So the page needs to stand on its own and have a clear goal. So, for example, this page, its goal mainly is to establish the next scene. So they have moved from Cork's bedroom to this saloon/hotel. And so the top panel is the establishing shot, which is, the full panel across the page. And then the middle panel, and then I wanted to do close-ups of their expressions. Because besides the establishing shot, I want the page to express that there's this quiet, almost stunned silence after what they've just went through. And as far as the plot goes, with Tegan's passing, and yes, I'm confirming it, she's gone and I'm so sorry. It's not just a senseless death, really. She was one of my favorite characters. I loved her. I created her knowing that she was going to die. And knowing she was going to die, I tried not to get myself attached to her. And I did. And I actually debated about changing that part of the script because I loved her so much. But, if it hurts me, then it's going to hurt you guys. So I'm really sorry. So as far as the plot goes, Tegan's passing had to happen. These characters, they needed to suffer a loss, something that unified them and made them want to fight together. Dom, started out as the villain, and now he's kind of reluctant companion to these people because it affected him as well. Even though he does not want to admit it, it did affect him. And I love that concept when the villain is given the opportunity to redeem himself. But of course, not saying that Dom is a little shit still. He has a long way to grow, that is for sure. So, right. A little bit of story time. So in podcasts, other interviews, I have talked a little bit about where the concept of Plume came from, but I didn't really go too far into detail. So while this page is going, which took me roughly 5 hours and it's reduced down to minutes, I'll tell you a little bit about where the concept came from. So way back when, it was probably 2007, I started a novel called The Keeper. And it was in a Victorian world, but an alternate universe where people actually could see and interact with their guardian angels. And they became much like a servant. Not only did they protect them and had to protect them, but they did housework and all that nonsense. And so the main character, her name was Emma, and her guardian was named Cork. And Cork was not like any other guardian angel. He was actually rough around the edges. He was very aggressive with other charges. When someone would threaten her, he would kind of react in a feral dog kind of way, growling and reacting violently. So when she went off to school, to this prestigious school, he kind of caused a lot of trouble for her. Even though she loved him to death, he still caused a lot of trouble for her. And then just abandoned the novel idea and started drawing it. And I have a couple pages of The Keeper. And Cork looks pretty much, Cork and Besser pretty much look the same. And it's hidden away somewhere in my old computer. Maybe I'll dig it out at some point. But then I abandoned that. And then I created a story called Dust, which is about the people of Earth had abandoned the planet due to the resources drying up. So when they returned, they found these human-like species that had taken over the planet. So it was the main character's job to clear out this new species so they could reclaim their Earth. And so the Earth was just this giant, western, desolate, dry planet. So taking that setting and plopping in the Keeper, and out came Plume. And instead of Cork being a guardian angel, he became this force sap that is tied to an amulet. And then Vesper's name changed as well. I just didn't like Emma, and then a friend of mine suggested Vesper, and so I took it. Thought that was an awesome name, Bond girl, you know. Cork's name actually came from Avatar: The Last Airbender. When Aang is trying to clear his chakras, he contacts the last water tribe airbender, and his name was Cork. Little insider there. Now this middle panel you saw in my rough work, that it was a mid shot of 3 sitting at the table. But I thought it was a little more pertinent to show the uneaten meal, because it was just going to be repetitive. It was just going to show the expressions. So I was like, I'll draw the meal. It's untouched, and it's kind of a little more impactful. And while I'm drawing this, I actually got really hungry. The reference shot that I grabbed from Google, it looks so good. And this is the first time I've ever drawn chicken, I have to say. And there you go. There it is. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget, if you have a suggestion or a question, please leave it in the comments and I'll try to answer it in the next video. That's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.